Welcome to another video in the JavaScript tutorial series, and in this video we'll be looking at the number data type. In the previous video we've seen string and some of its methods. So in this video we'll be looking at number and some of its methods, built-in JavaScript methods. So like previous video, we'll just be defining a variable and assigning a value to it. Number 1 is equals to 12. Let number 2 equals 34. Alright, so if I just console.log this one here, number 1 plus number 2, so we should be getting 46. Just clear the console up quick and let me just run this now. We get 46. Alright, so that's what we are expecting, and you don't have to be too restricted on the type of numbers that you're including. It can be decimals. It can be decimals like 3, 4, 5, and let me just give something random and just run this here and see what we get. Yeah, and we get 46.99. that's the value which we are expecting. So this is pretty simple, like how we have described defined strings. It's the same manner you have numbers, but here in place of a string you're adding numbers, both integers and decimals. So I mean whole numbers and decimals, so you can include both of them, and yeah, that's pretty much it for numbers. Now let me just let's just look at some of the built-in types of JavaScript and how you can manipulate numbers. So in this case we will look at toString, that is a type conversion method. ParseInt, which is another type conversion method which we'll be seeing shortly. Another library, an object called math, which has a bunch of useful properties or methods which let you manipulate the numbers. So we will see all of these one by one. Now I'll have something called as an updated number as a variable, and like how we have done in string, we use number 1 dot to string. Right, so let's just print this out. Let's print the type of this. Alright, so we know that toString, as the name says, converts the number to a string. So let's just log the type of number 1 first. Number 1 is here. Let's just console.log the type of this one, type of this number 1. So to check the type of a particular variable or a particular data type, we'll have to have type of, and number 1 is the variable in question, so we'll be including that. Now the expected type should be number, as number 1 holds a number. Let's see what we get. Number, as you can see, number is printed here. Oops, yeah. And now for updated number, let's just print that out and see the type of it, and that's a string. Alright, so I don't know why this is getting close. Yeah, let me just remove this, and yeah, as you can see, the type of updated number is string. So number 1.toString converts a number to string. Similarly, let me just define a number but as a string. So string number equals 35. Alright, so let's just convert this to an integer. So currently now it is in the form of a string, but if we just have parseInt and we pass in a parameter to this, that is a string number. Let's see what we get the type of updated number as. It should be, since this is string, type of string number would be string, but in this case the updated number is and will be an integer. So number is being passed here. So as you can see, these are pretty much handy when you want to convert the types from integer to string and string to integer. There are a lot more types of these type converters, so if you just are interested to check them out, then you can refer to the documentations. And in this case now we will look at math. Alright, so there are a bunch of useful properties or methods in math which lets you manipulate numbers. So let's just make a variable here, let math operations equals math dot round. We will round off number. Alright, so it's 34.6 here, 34.645. Let's pass in number 2 here and see what we get. And we have to print this, not to forget that. Math operations. Alright, so let's just print this and see what we get. Clear the console real quick and let's run this. And there you go, you have 35. If you know rounding, then what this basically does is 34.645 will be rounded off to 35, which means anything beyond 0.5 is rounded off to the next number, that is 34.645 is rounded off to 35. Similarly, in this case, if you use floor, that is if you try to floor this, if you try to floor this, what we get is 34. So you're trying to round off a particular number to the next number, and if you want to floor the same number, then you have to use math.floor. So these are two handy properties of math. Now let's look at one more interesting math function, dot random. Right, so math dot random, and let me just print this out now. Let me just print this out now and see what we get. Yeah, you get 0.502146 something. Alright, so this is the number that you get here for the particular math.random function. So if I just try to run all of again, and let's see what we get here. 0.22, we got a completely different number here. Let's run once more and see what we get. 0.455 something. So as you can see, math.random produces random numbers between 0 and 1. Right, so 1. So oops, 1. Yeah, so math.random produces numbers between 0 and 1. 0 is inclusive, 1 is exclusive, which means anything between 0.99999 is accepted, but 1 is not. So you'll never get 1 here. Now you may be wondering how you can generate other numbers, say 0 to 5. You want a random number between 0 to 5. So how will you do that? There's a workaround for this. You use math.floor. As we've seen previously, math.floor floors the number. So if you want a number between if you want a number between say 0 and 5, then you will have to have 6 here. So what we're doing is if we are generating a number, say let's just generate a number here and see what we get here. Yeah, so console, you get 3. Let's just keep running this 1 1. Let me just keep running this until we get maybe 5. Okay, 4 2. Let's just get 5 this time, hopefully. No, not yet. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not getting 5 here, but you can get 5 here, but my luck is not very good, so I'm not getting 5. But in this case, mat.floor, what you're doing is you're flooring the result that you get here. All right, so so anything that's like mat.random, you generate a number like 0.99, and 0.99 into 6 will be somewhere around 5. All right, so when you floor that 5 point, you get something 5 point something. So when you floor that, you'll be getting 5 here. So mat.floor floors the number, and mat.random produces numbers between 0 and 1, and the multiplier here is for generating the desired outputs. So anything between 0 and 5. Suppose we have 0.5 here generated here, so mat.random produces something 0.56, some number, so that is into 6, and we get approximately 3 here. So the math operations will hold 3 here in this case. Let's just run this and see how it works. Yeah, 0, you're getting 0. So as you can see, mat.random is pretty useful when you have some games, or when you have when you kind of make some games, random games, and you need to generate random numbers for particular algorithm or particular game mechanic, or anything that involves in random generation, random number generation. You would be including that, but that's what random is all about in JavaScript. So we have seen the number and the number data type and some of its handy functions. Let's just end this video now, and thank you.